Google has absolutely been on a roll with Stadia related news over the last couple weeks. It was all doom and gloom for a little while through the holidays, and after, with what seemed to those on the outside, Google already given up support on the platform. Obviously, this wasn't the case, as we haven't seen Google make such a heavy financial investment into something like they have with Stadia, and besides the legalities when it comes to announcing games, as well as the public relations nightmare of announcing things before they're actually ready, should allow some leniency from the community when it comes to Google saying things publicly. That being said, over the last couple weeks, we have seen over 10 games being officially announced for the platform, and to be coming soon, support hitting the biggest phones in the Android market here in the United States, and confirmation that Stadia Base and Pro are coming sooner rather than later. However, over the weekend, we got some additional information about Google Stadia's next game release, Spitlings. Google is partnering up with ASUS, and touchscreen controls for Stadia has finally arrived, so let's get into it. So naturally, over the weekend, there isn't much to go over, and even though we ended the week with a live stream, it was more of a gameplay session and just a general open mic. That being said, I had a lot of fun and was humbled by the amount of support from the community that showed up. I may have a compilation of fun clips coming tomorrow from our Trials gameplay, but I'm expecting some additional news to hit today. Moreover, while weekend news can be a tad on the slow side, some things did happen. But before we get any further, if you're new to the channel and are interested in the latest Stadia news, analysis, and reviews, don't forget to get subscribed and hit that bell notification to stay up to date on the latest from yours truly. We drop new videos every day at about 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and live streams Friday or Saturday. And speaking of live streams, unless things change at about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday night, head over to Chase's channel, Stadia Talk, as he'll be live streaming Spitlings, and I'll be a part of that as well. Moreover, if you missed it, I'll be Chase's guest on the This Week on Stadia podcast, as Eddie from Stadia Player One will not be able to make it, and that will happen at about 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday, also over on the Stadia Talk YouTube channel. Now, to get back to Spitlings, I will also have my review of the latest Stadia release up on Wednesday morning with my latest in the series of Keep It or Refund It. It's a game I and many people have been excited for, and last Friday, after my video posted and just a little time before we went live, we learned that Spitlings was coming out on Tuesday morning, or as of this video's posting, tomorrow. If it's going to follow every other release on Stadia, expect to pick up Spitlings at around 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Speaking of, this is something that Stadia absolutely needs to change. One of the awesome benefits of Stadia is the ability to click purchase on a game and get right into the game. This isn't available on any other platform, and the bigger games get and the more complex making them becomes, having quick load times and no download times is something every console manufacturer will want to be able to achieve. Google absolutely needs to be able to have not only day and date parity with the other consoles, which unless anything changes appears it will be from here on out, they need to unlock these games at midnight of the release date. This won't be a problem for Spitlings since it's a timed exclusive for Stadia, but the fact of the matter remains, people want to play games immediately on launch, and if we are sitting until 11 a.m. my time to wait to play Doom Eternal on the 20th, that is going to be a huge loss for Stadia. Oh, that's my opinion, of course. Additionally, for the release, we are set to find out the pricing of Spitlings today. I'd be very curious to see if this will get a launch day pro deal, and I suspect this game will launch at about the $19.99 price range. And in fact, it's weird, it's the day before release and this is when they're going to reveal that. And typically when things are announced last minute, the news isn't generally good. So I'm fearing a $24.99 price for Spitlings. If it somehow creeps up to $29.99, that is going to rub people the wrong way for sure. However, I'm playing it safe and predicting $19.99, and if they opt for a pro deal, to push lapsed members to resubscribe and launch it at $14.99. As I've said before, if you predict enough things, eventually you will be right. Elsewhere in the world of Spitlings, at Massive Das, one of the members of our community, sent a tweet out to the official account for the developer of Spitlings, Massive Mini Team. He asked what the price may be and if there's a campaign, and Massive Mini Team responded. And in fact, this is how we found out that the pricing was going to be announced today. And here is what they said. There is a story campaign with 100 plus levels and small cutscenes we put all of our love into. Pricing will be announced tomorrow in a press release. Follow our publisher at Handy Games for updates on that. This is exciting news for the replayability aspect of this game. Having over 100 plus levels will bring tons of content for those playing on their own, as well as give them somewhat of a story too. I don't expect to be floored by the story in a Celeste type of way, but it appears the amount of love this indie developer gave to this game may be worth it in the end. If Spitlings is a hit, this is going to be a good get for Stadia, and as I mentioned time and time before, I'm excited to get my hands on this game and play live on stream over at Stadia Talk tomorrow night. A while back, I made a video discussing what Stadia base will need to succeed, and they still have a chance at releasing it by March. And that's where everyone's prediction lies currently, but I'm going a little off topic. In that video, I discussed that Stadia needs to partner up with retailers, and well, let's revisit that clip. Best Buy and pick up an extra Stadia controller if I wanted to. I should be able to go pick up the Claw for my controller if I wanted to. They should have these things ready to go, and maybe they do have plans for that when base comes out, but I don't want to have to wait, 2 to 7 days for these things to show up in my house. If I want an extra controller because, oh my god, my brother's coming to town, he wants to play something, so now I have to go buy a controller, or right now I'd have to buy it online and hopefully it gets here by that time. And over the last couple of days, we got word that ASUS's next Republic of Gamers phone, or the ROG, and in this case the ROG 3, will be launching with Stadia preloaded. Bloatware on phones aside, this is a great move considering this phone is specifically aimed at gamers. Right now there is a rumor floating around that the ROG 3 is going to be including 3 months of Stadia Pro as well. I've reached out to ASUS's PR team to get confirmation on what will be coming with the ROG 3 on the Stadia side of things. Like, would that 3 months be a trial version or a 3-month code, much like you could pick up a 3-month code of Xbox Live? Because if it's a trial version, which is essentially what you get in the Premier Edition or in the form of a Buddy Pass, that will do no good for current subscribers. Also, would any hardware be attached like controllers or a CCU? At the very least, this may confirm that future official touchscreen support could be on its way from Google. But that's me speculating, of course, and I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on Google partnering up with companies like ASUS to preload their software and what you think it'll mean for the future of Stadia. And speaking of touchscreen support, over the weekend on the Stadia subreddit, developer Smash Shock had updated folks on his Stadia touchscreen project. Previously, it required a Chrome extension to use, and typically if you use Google Chrome on a mobile device, you may find Chrome extensions missing because, well, they aren't supported. However, he has since been able to bring touchscreen support to Android devices, and while it may be a couple steps to get there, it works pretty flawlessly. I'll leave a link to his instructions in the description and a link to his video in the top right so you can get in on doing this. From my experience thus far, it works pretty well, and as mentioned in the ROG piece, this might be the kick in the teeth Google needs to work on their own version of this. To be honest, anytime touchscreen controls are involved, I'm usually weary because the type of games I would typically play aren't very conducive to touchscreen. So trying to play Sonic in a touchscreen environment is a nightmare for me because it requires precise timing due to its platforming nature. So don't expect to do very well in trials like I tried doing, but I could see myself doing this if I'm at work and realized, oh, I forgot to check into my team on 2K and need to do so, but don't have a controller on hand. Specific games that may work well for this are those in the turn-based genre or one that just don't require any twitchy movements like most of the titles in the Stadia library currently have. Despite that, it was a very good job by Smash Shock and Revnort who helped with the graphical side of this. But enough of what I think, what do you think of all the recent news? Will you be picking up Spitlings when it launches tomorrow? And are you interested in picking up the ROG 3 knowing that Stadia will be involved with it? And have you been able to try the touchscreen controls? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments section below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up as it'll really help people find me like you did. And if you are interested in supporting the channel even further, we do offer channel memberships here, so once you click join, you'll get access to all of our videos as soon as they are processed, which is usually the day before. And well, that's all I have for today, so come back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time with our next video. Of course, as I already mentioned, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, we will be over on Stadia Talks channel doing a little bit of the live streaming of Spitlings. I won't be doing any live streaming on my end, so you'll definitely have to go over to Stadia Talk, subscribe to him, and get his notifications turned on so you can be ready to watch us play that game. And of course, as I already mentioned, I will be on the This Week on Stadia podcast with Chase of Stadia Talk. Eddie from Stadia Player One, as I said, will not be able to make it, so I was asked to join the program, and I was more than happy to help out. As you know, I had so much fun doing the Stadia Talk podcast a couple weeks ago, and you know, these things are just fun, being able to interact with the community, talking the news with someone who's very knowledgeable on the business side of things as well as just the overall gaming side of things. Chase is a very knowledgeable dude, and I'm always more than glad to be a part of anything he does, as he's definitely helped me out in the past. So In the meantime, get subscribed to him, Stadia Talk, get subscribed to Stadia Player One so you can always stay up to date on the This Week on Stadia podcast. And of course, subscribe to me, because that's why you're here, right? You like what I do. And if you like what I do, hit that subscribe button, turn the bells on so you can definitely stay up to date on when we go live with new videos. And in the meantime, of course, I'm always going to thank you. And as always, party on.